On October 13, 2025, a Suzuki was clocked doing 168 km per hour southbound on Highway number 99 near Porto Cove, British Columbia. The 54-year-old Burnaby man told BC Highway Patrol that he had just picked his motorcycle up from a 7-day excessive speeding impound. The man's wife had dropped him off to pick up the bike, and minutes later, she came to pick him up again. The very next day, in the very same location, a BMW was clocked at 143 km per hour in an 80 zone. The 40-year-old Vancouver man had ridden straight from picking his bike up from a 7-day impound. He was issued another excessive speeding ticket and yet another impound. A second excessive speeding offense means a 30-day impound, plus you pay for the extra storage costs, plus extra insurance costs and escalating high-risk driver premiums, says Corporal Michael McLaughlin with BC Highway Patrol. You can see how BC Highway Patrol is using enforcement to educate people about speeding consequences. The total costs of the impounds will easily exceed $3,000 but will still be nowhere near the consequences of a high-speed motorcycle collision. A joint investigation by the Central Region, Ontario, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, and the Canada Border Services Agency, CBSA, has led to the arrest of 3 individuals for smuggling illegal drugs into Canada. On August 28, the CBSA in Montreal intercepted a shipment containing suspected ketamine and alerted the RCMP. The package, which originated in Belgium, contained 5.59 kilograms of concealed ketamine, a dangerous anesthetic drug with an approximate street value of nearly $225,000. The package was handed over to the RCMP before it could reach its intended destination in Scarborough, Ontario. The RCMP Toronto Airport Detachment conducted an investigation into the shipment and suspected importers, leading to the arrest of 3 Scarborough residents. Following the arrests, RCMP officers executed a search warrant at the residence of the accused, which led to the seizure of a significant quantity of illicit substances in both powder and pill form. In addition to the drugs, officers recovered drug paraphernalia, a handgun, stun batons, various electronic devices, and a Lexus SUV. The Central Region RCMP has charged Braden Van Nguyen, 21, Jihong Lin, 21, and Xianran Zhang, 22, all of Scarborough, Ontario. Zhang and Lin have been released on bail with multiple conditions. Nguyen remains in custody and is scheduled for court date on October 20, 2025. Investigators with the Prince George RCMP are looking to identify the suspects in a tire-slashing investigation that began on Tuesday, October 14, 2025. Police officers were contacted shortly after 8 p.m. by the victims, whose car had been parked in a parking lot off the 1600 block of 15th Avenue in Prince George, British Columbia. They came back to their vehicle to find the passenger side tires were slashed. Police have reason to believe there may have been others in this area whose vehicle tires were similarly damaged. We are encouraging anyone who was a victim of this mischief to call our non-emergency line to create a police report, states Corporal Jennifer Cooper, Media Relations Officer for the Prince George RCMP. Investigators are also looking to obtain any video surveillance that may have captured the suspects moving through the area. The incident likely occurred between 7:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. on October 14. Mounties are reminding the public to report criminal activity to your local police. If you have any information about this or any other criminal offense, please contact the Prince George RCMP at 250-561-3300 or anonymously contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477 or online at www.northernbccrimestoppers.ca, English only. This investigation remains ongoing. On September 24, 2025, 2 males and 1 female stole merchandise from a liquor store in Slave Lake, Alberta. The individuals stole approximately $730 worth of products, including boxes of vodka, each containing 18 bottles, a pack of American vintage iced tea and a pack of hard iced tea. Surveillance footage of the individuals was obtained. Anyone with information regarding this incident, or who can identify the photographed individuals, is asked to please contact the Slave Lake RCMP at 780-849-3999. If you wish to remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. On August 13, 2025, Drumheller RCMP entered into a sexual assault investigation. The victim came to police to disclose a series of sexual assaults that happened over several years while they were a youth. The suspect was the employer of the youth at a local business. As a result of the investigation, Drumheller RCMP has charged 59-year-old Bernard Germain, a resident of Drumheller, with the following: sexual assault, sexual interference. Germain appeared in Alberta Court of Justice in Drumheller on October 17, 2025. Drumheller RCMP is continuing their investigation and believe there may be more victims. RCMP is asking the public to come forward with any similar type incidents. Please contact Drumheller RCMP at 403-823-2630 or your local police. If you wish to remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. On October 14, 2025, as the result of an ongoing drug trafficking investigation, Musqueam RCMP executed a search warrant at a residence in Ermineskin Cree Nation. Officers recovered 2 illegally owned firearms, 2 illegally owned crossbows, ammunition, and drug paraphernalia. As a result of the investigation, RCMP have charged 39-year-old Musqueam resident, Shane Wolf, with unauthorized possession of a firearm, ×2. Weapons possession contrary to order, ×5. Unsafe storage of a firearm. If you have any information, please contact the Musqueam RCMP at 780-585-4600. If you wish to remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. In early October, the Red Deer RCMP Crime Reduction Team, CRT, began an investigation into a drug trafficker believed to be active in the central Alberta area, including within the city of Red Deer. As a result of the investigation, Red Deer RCMP CRT, with assistance from Red Deer RCMP General Investigation Section, GIS, Police Dog Services, PDS, and Sylvan Lake RCMP, executed a search warrant on October 10, 2025, which led to the seizure of the following: 1.17 kilograms of cocaine, 1.459 kg of methamphetamine, 3.135 kg of fentanyl. Equipment used to manufacture illegal drugs. 3 loaded firearms. Red Deer RCMP have charged Jesse Bergstrom, 41, with possession for the purpose of trafficking, ×3. Production of a controlled substance. Weapons offenses, ×8. Failing to comply with release order, ×2. Possession of counterfeit currency. Bergstrom has been taken before a justice of the peace and remanded into custody to appear in court October 29, 2025 at the Alberta Court of Justice in Red Deer. This is the same individual subject to a search warrant where loaded firearms and over a kg of ketamine was seized on April 17, 2025. From October 7 to 9, 2025, Lake Louise RCMP, with assistance from Banff RCMP, Alberta RCMP Traffic, Alberta Sheriffs, and Alberta Transportation, participated in an operation geared towards inspecting commercial vehicles operating in Banff National Park. The purpose of this operation was to inspect commercial vehicles to ensure they were in safe working order and in compliance with all provincial and federal legislation. Alberta Sheriffs provided several officers to assist with this operation, including specially trained commercial vehicle inspectors and motorcoach inspectors. More than 50 commercial vehicles were inspected, yielding the following results: 23 commercial vehicles passed inspections, 43%. The majority of the vehicles that passed inspections were motorcoaches and buses. 22 commercial vehicles required attention, 42%. 8 commercial vehicles were put out of service, 15%, and 17 tickets were issued. Everyone deserves to feel safe on our roads, said Sergeant Susan Richter, Detachment Commander of Lake Louise RCMP. By educating commercial operators and enforcing safety standards, we are helping to reduce risks and promote safer travel across our communities. On October 5, 2025, shortly after 3 a.m., Red Deer RCMP were dispatched to a break and enter to a business in the Rosedale Meadows neighborhood. Police responded immediately, arriving within minutes of receiving the call. Upon arrival, RCMP found the front of the business to be extensively damaged with the doors removed. Further investigation revealed the suspects had entered the business, tied a rope to an ATM, and tried to pull it out with a vehicle. After the unsuccessful attempt, the two suspects fled in two separate vehicles, both determined to have been previously reported stolen. RCMP believe the suspects may be involved in other similar occurrences in the area. Red Deer RCMP are seeking public assistance to identify the suspects. If you have any information that can further the investigation, please call Red Deer RCMP at 403-406-2200. If you wish to remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. On October 7, 2025, at approximately 9:20 a.m., a member of the Edson RCMP detachment pulled over a vehicle in Edson, Alberta for a minor traffic violation. While conducting the traffic stop, the RCMP member observed brass knuckles and other suspicious items inside the vehicle. Both the driver and the passenger were arrested. A search of the individuals and the vehicle incidental to arrest revealed 136 grams of methamphetamine, 3 grams of cocaine, 6 brass knuckles, a loaded .22 caliber rifle, a loaded restricted shotgun, and a 7mm rifle. As a result of the investigation, Carl Ferenc Nagy, 36, a resident of Airdrie, Alberta, and Angeline Marie Crespin, 45, a resident of Edson, were arrested. Nagy was charged with 25 offenses and Crespin with 19 offenses, including possession of controlled substances, careless use of a firearm, and unauthorized possession of a firearm. Nagy and Crespin were brought before a justice of the peace. Nagy was remanded into custody while Crespin was released on conditions. They are to appear before the Alberta Court of Justice in Edson on October 21, 2025. Red Deer RCMP have charged 2 males and dismantled a drug manufacturing operation, following a 3-month investigation. In late July 2025, Red Deer RCMP General Investigations Section, GIS, received information regarding suspicious activities at a commercial business in Red Deer. The investigation led police to obtain a warrant to search the property. On July 25, 2025, Red Deer RCMP GIS, with the assistance of Alberta RCMP Clandestine Lab Enforcement and Response Team, CLEAR, and Red Deer Emergency Services, executed a search warrant at a commercial location in the north end of Red Deer. The search led police to locate and seize significant quantities of precursor chemicals, substances, laboratory equipment, and other materials used in the manufacturing of illicit fentanyl. RCMP also seized 1735 grams of finished fentanyl product. Police continued investigating and on October 8, 2025, RCMP GIS obtained a search warrant for a residence in Red Deer. With the assistance of Red Deer RCMP General Duty, Downtown Patrol Unit, DPU, Crime Reduction Team, CRT, and Police Dog Services, PDS, police searched this property, resulting in the seizure of electronic devices, laptops, forged documents and equipment for the creation of forged documents. A 33-year-old male resident of Red Deer has been arrested and charged with the following: possession of items for the manufacturing of fentanyl, possession of fentanyl for the purpose of trafficking, possess forged documents, possess instruments for the creation of forged documents. Following a judicial interim release hearing, the accused was remanded into custody to appear in court on October 16, 2025, at the Alberta Court of Justice in Red Deer. A warrant for arrest has been issued for a second Red Deer male, who is charged with the following: possession of items for the manufacturing of fentanyl, possession of fentanyl for the purpose of trafficking. On Thursday, October 9, 2025, at approximately 4:40 p.m., RCMP responded to a report of a physical altercation between 2 individuals at the intersection of Nevada Street and Dunn Crescent, in Rossland, British Columbia. One of the people involved later succumbed to their injuries in hospital. The Southeast District Major Crime Unit, SEDMCU, is investigating and is asking for any witnesses to come forward, said Inspector Brent Novokoski, District Senior Investigating Officer of SEDMCU. Should anyone have any information, they're asked to contact the SEDMCU information line at 1-877-987-8477. On October 17, 2025, at approximately 12:30 a.m., Island Lake RCMP received a call regarding gunshots in the community of Wassigamak First Nation in Manitoba. The RCMP were also advised of a deceased 37-year-old male outside of a residence in the community. The death of the 37-year-old male is being investigated as a homicide. A male suspect is in custody. Manitoba RCMP Major Crime Services, MCS, with assistance from Island Lake RCMP and Forensic Identification Services continue to investigate. In the month of September, Richmond RCMP officers issued 1,049 traffic violation tickets as part of our ongoing commitment to targeted enforcement efforts and improving road safety for all users. Key categories of offenses include speeding, 196. Distracted driving, 247. Impaired drug/alcohol infractions, 27. Vehicle-related infractions, 190. Driver license infractions, 196. Excessive speed enforcement highlight. On September 30th, an officer conducting stationary speed enforcement on Highway 91 observed a black Dodge Charger approaching at a high rate of speed. The vehicle was visually estimated to be traveling at approximately 160 km per hour in an 80 km per hour zone, while aggressively passing slower vehicles. The officer confirmed the vehicle speed by radar to be 166 km per hour. A traffic stop was initiated once the vehicle passed. The driver was served a violation ticket for excessive speed, and the vehicle was impounded for a minimum of 7 clear days. Distracted driving crackdown. The fall campaign combating distracted driving is well underway, with Richmond RCMP officers issuing 247 tickets for distracted driving in September alone. On September 18, a joint operation targeting distracted drivers resulted in $59,364 in fines. Drivers are reminded that distracted driving is the second leading causal factor in serious injury and fatal collision in BC, second only to speed. On September 20, Richmond RCMP officers attended Highway 91 at Jacobs Road for a report of a single vehicle rollover. The driver was able to exit the vehicle with assistance from Richmond Fire Rescue, despite it being on its side. While the officers were dealing with the crash, social media videos were observed to be playing on an electronic device inside the vehicle, suggesting the driver may have been distracted at the time of the collision. No message or video is worth someone's life, says Constable Tarape, Richmond RCMP Road Safety Unit. Some drivers think they can multitask behind the wheel. We see the aftermath of those decisions, and it's never worth it. Targeted enforcement zones. The Richmond RCMP Road Safety Unit officers target traffic enforcement efforts based on police data and community intelligence. Throughout October, officers are conducting increased enforcement on No. 3 Road and Westminster Highway. Drivers are reminded to slow down, leave their phones alone, and follow the rules of the roadway. Community outreach. In addition to enforcement, Richmond RCMP engages in regular community outreach activities aimed at improving road safety through education and prevention. On September 27, Richmond RCMP partnered with Richmond Fire Rescue, ICBC, and BCAA to host a free car seat clinic. Attendees received a personalized car seat safety audit, with hands-on instruction on correct car seat installation and safe use. Report unsafe driving behavior. Residents are encouraged to report high-risk driving behavior to police by calling 911 when it is safe to do so. Alert has finished searching a Medicine Hat home, which was believed to have been used to alter fentanyl. Alert Organized Crime Unit, along with the RCMP's Clandestine Laboratory Enforcement Response Team, CLEAR, and Medicine Hat Police Service, executed a search warrant at the home on October 9, 2025. The home, located on 12th Street Northwest, was allegedly being used to alter fentanyl. Alert believes fentanyl was being combined with other chemicals. Although the investigation is ongoing, the substantial amount of drugs and equipment seized has reduced the immediate risk of harm to the community, said Staff Sergeant Ryan Thorburn, Alert. Alert seized the following: 598 grams of fentanyl, 102 grams of methamphetamine, 85 grams of cocaine, 47 grams of psilocybin mushrooms, 21 milliliters of GHB, $5,445 in cash. The drugs seized have an estimated street value of $135,000. 2 people were taken into custody and charges are forthcoming.